Hello and welcome back to In His Shadow, Chapter 4. Summary 12 April hasn't been to see her boys in a while and had no idea what the hell they were up to. She's hurt by the decision not to tell her, not to include her, but then she thinks it over. She knows she has to support them. Notes. Thank you to that one reader 123451 for the song. https://suno.com/lowercase s/uppercase p 6 uppercase I uppercase o lowercase a lowercase q uppercase b uppercase d lowercase o lowercase u uppercase r lowercase t lowercase q uppercase z uppercase F. You guys rock. April knew something was wrong the second she stepped into the lair. Not wrong in the way that grief was wrong, or the way the air felt wrong after a fight. This was sharper, tighter, like a wire pulled too tight, ready to snap. The lights were on low, but the lab glowed anyway. Violet light from the machine on Donnie's workbench, the flicker of a half-dead screen, the pale reflection of too many sleepless nights and too many tired eyes. Leo was standing too straight near the door. Raph had his arms folded so hard across his chest it looked painful. Mikey was sitting on a crate with his hands clasped between his knees, trying and failing to look casual. Donnie looked like he hadn't slept in days. April's stomach dropped. "What did you do?" No one answered right away. That was enough of an answer. She looked from one face to the next, then to the machine. The shape of it was familiar in a way that made her skin prickle. Crane tech, altered and rebuilt and pushed far beyond anything sane. Her eyes narrowed. "You didn't." Leo's jaw worked. "April?" "No," she said, flat. "No, don't April me. What is that?" Donnie swallowed. "It's a viewer." "A viewer?" she repeated, incredulous. "For what?" The silence that followed was worse than an answer. Her gaze snapped back to Leo. "Tell me." His eyes were red. Not fresh, not dramatic, just worn down the way they got when he'd been holding himself together with sheer will and feeling in private. "We were looking," he said quietly. April stared. "Looking for what?" Mikey made a small noise in the back of his throat, like he was already bracing for impact. Leo answered anyway. "For Splinter. Another Splinter, I mean. You remember the multiverse?" The air left her lungs in one sharp, stunned breath. Raph looked away first. Donnie's hands tightened on the edge of the console. Mikey looked like he wanted to disappear into the floor. April blinked once, twice. Then she said very carefully, "You've been using a machine to look through the multiverse?" Leo didn't answer. That was a yes. Her voice rose. "You've been doing this without telling me." "We didn't want," Donnie started. "You didn't want what?" April snapped. "You didn't want me to stop you." That hit. It hit all of them because it was true. Leo flinched as if she'd struck him. "We didn't want to drag you into it," Mikey said softly. April turned to him, shocked all over again. "Drag me into it? You're as close to my family without being blood related. You don't get to decide. I'm not allowed to know when you're doing something this dangerous." "We know," Leo said. She laughed once, bitter and tired. "Do you?" No one had a good answer. She stared at the machine again, then at the blank screen. There were sticky notes on the console, loose wires, half-empty soda cans, a blanket thrown over a chair. They had turned grief into a lab project and called it survival. Her anger faltered just enough for her to feel the rest underneath. Fear, exhaustion, the ache of missing him. Oh, that was why they were doing this. Her shoulders lowered a fraction. You've been trying to find a version of him, she said quietly, so you can say goodbye. Leo's eyes closed for a second. That alone was enough of an answer. April folded her arms. That is the most reckless, emotionally compromised, morally questionable thing I have ever heard. Raph huffed. Yeah, well, welcome to last month. She shot him a look that should have been a warning, a reprimand, and a punch all at once. Then she looked back at the machine, at Leo, at Donnie, at Mikey, who was now staring at his own hands as if they'd betrayed him. At least tell me you've been careful. Donnie made a face. We've been moderately careful. April gave him a look. Okay, he admitted. Not carefully enough. She shut her eyes. For a moment, she thought about walking away. She thought about telling them they were too far gone, too reckless, too lost in grief to be trusted with anything this dangerous. She thought about refusing to let herself be a part of whatever this was. Then, almost without meaning to, she heard a song in her head. How did my life come to this? Why are we the ones who take the hits? Don't know how, but I know this. No matter what we face, I wouldn't trade my place, 'cause these are my boys now. He's not my father, but he tries. See something strong behind my eyes, and a place I never thought I'd fit. He made a home out of all of this. Fought the Krang, ran through the fear. Finally found my father here. But he's not the man I knew before. He's something new, and I'm not sure. Voices in my head I can't outrun. See things before they've even begun. Didn't ask for any of this fight, but I won't turn away from what is right. And we lost him, just like that. No time to fight, no turning back. The one who held us all together. Now we face this world without him, forever. Yeah, it's looking kinda grim, but I'd do it all again. Every step, every fall. I wouldn't trade this life at all, 'cause these are my boys now. Soft, ache-filled. The kind of song that made grief feel less like a wound, and more like a hand on your shoulder saying, yes, I know. April opened her eyes again. The boys were still waiting for her to explode. Instead, she said, you should have told me. Leo's face tightened. I know. No, she said, voice rougher now. You should have. That landed, too. Then she looked down at her hands, took a breath, and let it out slowly. Okay, she said. All four of them stared. April pointed at the machine. Okay, but I want in. If we're going to do this, we do it together. Leo's mouth parted slightly, like he didn't know what expression he was supposed to be wearing. Raph was the first to speak. You're serious? No, April said deadpan. I'm saying this to make a point. Mikey made a tiny choked laugh. She went on before anyone could derail her. You do not get to carry this alone. You do not get to make this into a secret project and then fall apart in a corner when it goes wrong. If you're going to keep looking, I'm here. If you're going to break the rules, I'm here. If you're going to find another version of him so you can say goodbye, then I'm here for that too. Leo looked away first this time. When he looked back, his eyes were shining. I don't want to keep hurting you, he said. April's expression softened just a little. Then don't. Just don't shut me out. Silence settled over them again, but this time it was different. Not clean, not fixed, just less lonely. Donnie cleared his throat. There are a few safeguards I haven't implemented yet. April raised an eyebrow. A few? A great many, he corrected quickly. Good. Raph rubbed a hand over the back of his neck. So what? Now you're going to help us mess with that multiverse? April looked at him and then at the others. No, I'm going to help you do it without completely blowing yourselves up in the process. Mikey, still a little teary, lifted a hand. That's honestly kind of great. Don't make me regret this, April said. That got a real laugh out of them, shaky and broken and alive. And for the first time in what felt like forever, the lair didn't feel like a tomb. It felt like a decision. And that's the end of that chapter. We'll see you in the next one.